Do you know if your marketing campaigns are really paying off for your business? Maybe you sort of use Google Analytics, or maybe use your sales tracking numbers, or even your social media insights. But you ever wish you could get even more information about your traffic and what actually happens when people visit your website or sales funnel? Well, UTMs are the magical things that can give you that helpful information. And today we're going to talk about what UTMs are, what they tell us, and how we can use that information to our benefit. If you're new here, I'm Carrie, and I help successful businesses with messy metrics clean them up so they can get simple, accurate information from their data, which enables them to grow more quickly and more efficiently. Have you ever opened up your analytics or tried to dig into your numbers a little bit deeper and thought something like, great, but what am I actually looking at here? Or, cool, page views, but what does this mean? Or, is this good? Is this bad? Is this even working? If so, you're not broken, you are not behind, and you are definitely not the only one. The business owners that I work with are smart and super capable. They're great at what they do. But when it comes to data, they sometimes hit this wall of frustration because the tools that we're supposed to use just aren't giving us the right kind of clarity. It's like standing in front of a whiteboard full of numbers and graphs and saying, okay, and what does this mean for me and what do I do next? So if you've ever felt like you can't tell what's working and what's actually driving traffic, this simple strategy is your fix. Let me take you back to when I first started playing around with Google Analytics. I was so excited. I thought, this is it. This is going to tell me what content is working, what emails people are clicking, and how my launches are really landing. And what I saw was a bunch of charts, bounce rates, and sources that I didn't even recognize, and a whole lot of direct traffic. I remember clicking around thinking, is this actually useful? Is this me not knowing how to read this, or is this actually not very helpful? It turns out it wasn't really me. It was that my links weren't telling the tool where people came from, so my data had no context. It was like having puzzle pieces with no picture on them. And that's what most people are working with when they say, I want to be more data informed. So let me guess, you've probably done some of these. You've installed Google Analytics and set up GA4 because someone told you to add it to your site. You've checked your Kajabi or high-level stats or your ConvertKit email report now and then. And maybe you've even made a spreadsheet with your launch traffic and your link clicks. You can probably see when your traffic goes up or down, but you really don't know why. Because here's the deal, tools like Google Analytics can be extremely powerful, but only if you feed them the right inputs. Otherwise, you're just back to guessing. You're back to saying, well, I think that podcast brought some traffic, or I think that email performed well, but thinking isn't knowing, and you deserve to know. When I work with clients who are trying to use their data, these are the things that I see all the time. Things like using the same link across 5 platforms and wondering which one people were clicking, or looking at open rates instead of click-through rates, or forgetting that links in email and social are basically invisible to your analytics unless you tag them. And then they say, I can't figure out what worked. Well, of course you can't. The links that you're using are silent. They didn't bring any breadcrumbs back with them. And this is where UTMs come in. Most people skip this step because they really don't know that it exists or how it works. But if you want to finally know what's working, this is a strategy that makes all the difference. UTMs are like trails for your marketing links. They get to tell your analytics where people are actually coming from and what brought them there. So instead of a big mystery, you get to see things like this traffic came from Instagram stories during my spring promo, or that surge in visits came from the guest email that I sent to my waitlist, or this landing page got 90% of its visits from that freebie collaboration I did. You don't have to guess. You don't have to kind of feel it out. You get to know what's working. To tag a link, all you do is add a few short labels to the end of your URL, like you'll see on the screen below. In this example, you'll see source equals Instagram, medium equals social, and campaign equals launch April. Those 3 things tell your analytics where the traffic came from, the kind of traffic that it is, and what bigger campaign it's a part of. And that's it. You can do this manually, or inside my mini course, Take Your Traffic, the plug and play UTM tracking system, I give you an easy to use link creation spreadsheet so you never have to think about creating your links. Remember, if you're linking to something important, like a lead magnet, a sales page, a booking page, or a limited time promo, tag it. If you're going to want to look back later and say, where did this traffic come from? Then tag it now. Because once the moment passes, it's too late to go back and fix it. This is the difference between hoping your marketing is working and actually knowing what to do more of next time. When you tag your links consistently, you get clean traffic data, you can compare results across channels, you can stop wasting time on things that look good but aren't actually driving traffic. And this is the foundation of making smarter, simpler marketing decisions. And it's something that you can start doing literally today. Now, there is one big mistake that I want to help you avoid, and a lot of people get excited about UTMs, and then they start creating chaos. They use different names every time. They forget what they called their last launch. They mix up email and newsletter or IG and Instagram, and that just makes your data messy again. So in my next video, I'm going to walk you through how to keep your UTM links clean and consistent so your data stays trustworthy. And if you're thinking, okay, I do want to know what's working, but this feels a little bit complicated, that's exactly what Take Your Traffic was built to solve. It includes a clear, simple training and tools that you need to help tag your links with confidence so you can finally answer questions like, what's driving my traffic? What's actually working? And where should I focus my efforts next? You'll get the UTM link builder, a cheat sheet, best practices for every platform, and a system that takes less than 30 minutes to implement. So you can start tagging your next launch or promo today. The link for that is in the description. And keep an eye out for my next video where I'll walk you through that one big mistake that breaks your UTM setup and how you can avoid it. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.